The Amazon rainforest is a world that has existed for millions of years. It is a place of immense age and wonder. This vast green expanse is often called the lungs of the planet. This nickname is quite fitting. The forest breathes in carbon dioxide, a gas that, warms our world. It then breathes out the very oxygen that we all need to survive. It is a fundamental life support system for our entire planet. This ancient ecosystem has been shaping our world's climate for longer than humans have walked the earth. Its continued health is not just important for the creatures within it, but for all life, everywhere. Imagine a forest so vast that it stretches across 9 different countries in South America. The Amazon is just that. It is a living, breathing entity that covers an enormous part of the continent. Its story began around 55 million years ago, a time when dinosaurs had recently vanished. Over these countless millennia, it has evolved into the most complex and vibrant ecosystem on land. The sheer scale of it is difficult to comprehend. It is not simply a collection of trees, but a sprawling, interconnected web of life, where every single leaf, every insect, and every drop of water plays a crucial role in the grand, unfolding drama of survival. This great forest is a world of constant change and rhythm. It is governed by the sun and the rain. During the day, the air is filled with the calls of birds and the hum of insects. At night, a completely different cast of characters emerges from the shadows. The sounds change, and the forest reveals another side of its personality. This endless cycle of day and night, of wet and dry seasons, has driven the evolution of millions of species. Each one has found its own unique way to thrive in this competitive and bountiful environment. It is a testament to the power of nature to create endless forms of life, each one more beautiful and intricate than the last. To step into the Amazon is to step back in time. It is to enter a realm where nature remains the dominant force. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, the very essence of life and death fueling new growth. Sunlight struggles to pierce the dense canopy above, creating a dappled, ever-shifting light on the forest floor. Here, one feels a profound sense of humility. We are but visitors in a kingdom that has stood for eons. Understanding this ancient world is the first step towards appreciating its immense value and the urgent need to protect it for the generations that are yet to come. The sheer size of the Amazon rainforest is staggering. If it were a country, it would be the 9th largest in the world. This immense green ocean of trees covers over 6 million square kilometers. It is a world unto itself, containing incredible biodiversity. Scientists believe that 1 in 10 of all known species on Earth lives here. This includes hundreds of thousands of plant species, thousands of types of birds and fish, and millions of insect species. Every expedition into its depths seems to reveal something new, a creature or a plant previously unknown to science. The Amazon is a living library of biological information, and we have only just begun to read its opening chapters. This forest plays a vital role in regulating our planet's climate. The countless trees act as a giant carbon sink. They absorb enormous quantities of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere through photosynthesis. This carbon is then stored within the tree's wood, leaves, and roots. By locking away this greenhouse gas, the Amazon helps to slow the pace of global warming. It is a natural solution to a global problem. When the forest is cut down or burned, this stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere, which, honestly, contributes to the warming of our planet. The Amazon's health is therefore directly linked to the stability of the global climate system. The biodiversity found here is simply breathtaking. It is a world of specialists, where each animal and plant has adapted to a specific niche. There are monkeys that never leave the treetops, and frogs so small they can sit on a thumbnail. There are fish that can survive out of water, and insects that perfectly mimic leaves and twigs to avoid being eaten. This incredible variety of life is what makes the ecosystem so resilient. It is a complex web where the fates of all living things are intertwined. The loss of even one species can have unforeseen consequences, creating a ripple effect that can destabilize this delicate balance that has taken millions of years to perfect. The forest is not just home to plants and animals, it is also home to hundreds of distinct indigenous communities. These peoples have lived in harmony with the rainforest for thousands of years. They possess a deep and intimate knowledge of the forest that is passed down through generations. They understand the cycles of the seasons, the properties of the plants, and the behaviors of the animals. Their cultures and their very survival are inextricably linked to the well-being of the forest. They are the original guardians of the Amazon, and their wisdom holds important lessons for the modern world on how to live sustainably with nature. Deep within the Amazon lies a treasure trove of medicinal compounds. For centuries, indigenous peoples have looked to the forest as their pharmacy. They have learned to identify plants that can heal wounds, cure illnesses, and relieve pain. This traditional knowledge is a remarkable library of natural medicine, built upon generations of careful observation and trial and error. Shamans and elders hold this sacred knowledge, understanding which leaf, root, or bark to use for specific ailments. It is a science born of necessity and a deep connection to the natural world, a wisdom that modern science is only now beginning to fully appreciate and explore. It is estimated that a significant portion of modern Western medicines are derived from rainforest plants. Many of the drugs we rely on today, from muscle relaxants to treatments for serious diseases, have their origins in compounds first discovered in the wild. Yet scientists believe we have only scratched the surface. Less than 1% of the Amazon's plant species have been thoroughly studied by modern scientists for their potential medicinal value. This means that within this vast green wilderness, there could be cures for diseases that currently plague humanity. The potential for discovery is immense, but it is a race against time. The famous curare is a perfect example of this. Indigenous hunters have long used this plant-derived substance on the tips of their blowgun darts to paralyze their prey. They developed a sophisticated process to extract and prepare the potent compound. In the 20th century, scientists studied its properties and developed a purified version for use in modern medicine. It became a crucial muscle relaxant used during surgery, revolutionizing medical procedures and saving countless lives. This incredible journey from a jungle poison to a life-saving drug shows the untapped potential hidden within the foliage of the Amazon. Every time a section of the rainforest is destroyed, we risk losing more than just trees and animals. We could be losing a future cure for cancer, a treatment for Alzheimer's, or a new type of antibiotic. The loss of biodiversity is also the loss of chemical diversity. The intricate knowledge of the indigenous communities is also disappearing as their way of life is threatened. Protecting the Amazon is not just about preserving a beautiful landscape. It is also about safeguarding a vital source of knowledge and potential life-saving discoveries for the future of all humankind. It is a living laboratory we can ill afford to lose. The rainforest is a world built in layers, and its most vibrant and competitive layer is the canopy. This is the roof of the forest, a dense, interlocking ceiling of leaves and branches often more than 30 meters above the ground. It is here that most of the sunlight is captured, and as a result, it is where most of life is found. The canopy is a bustling, high-rise city of leaves, flowers, and fruits. It is home to a staggering array of creatures, from monkeys and sloths to brightly colored birds and countless insects. Life here is a constant struggle for light, food, and space in this crowded, sun-drenched world. The Amazon creates its own weather. The trees release enormous amounts of water vapor into the atmosphere through a process called transpiration. This moisture rises and forms vast clouds. These clouds then release the water back onto the forest as rain. This incredible cycle creates what is known as flying rivers or sky rivers. These atmospheric rivers of moisture are so immense that they influence rainfall patterns across the entire South American continent. The Amazon is not just a forest. It is a giant water pump, recycling moisture and sustaining the very climate that allows it to thrive. Its influence extends far beyond its green borders. One of the most spectacular displays of the Amazon's water power is Caiatur Falls in Guyana. Here, the Potaro River plunges 226 meters in a single, breathtaking drop. It is one of the most powerful waterfalls in the world by volume of water. The sheer force of the water creates a permanent cloud of mist, which sustains a unique ecosystem of mosses and tiny frogs on the surrounding cliffs. It is a place of raw, untamed power and beauty, a reminder of the immense natural forces at work within this great forest. Caiatur Falls is a jewel of the Amazon, a testament to the dramatic and awe-inspiring landscapes hidden within its depths. Life in the canopy requires special adaptations. Many animals have prehensile tails that can grip branches like a fifth limb. Birds have beaks perfectly shaped to crack open nuts or sip nectar from specific flowers. The constant rain means that surfaces are often slippery, and the height means a fall can be fatal. Yet, life flourishes. It is a world of incredible acrobatics and ingenious survival strategies. The canopy is the engine room of the rainforest, the place where the sun's energy is converted into the food that sustains the entire ecosystem below. It is a world of dizzying heights and extraordinary abundance. The jaguar is the undisputed king of the Amazon. It's the largest cat in the Americas and, honestly, a powerful apex predator. With its beautifully spotted coat, it moves with a silent, deliberate grace through the dense undergrowth of the forest. The name jaguar comes from the indigenous word jaguar, which means he who kills with one leap. This is such a fitting name for a hunter of such formidable strength and skill. Unlike many other big cats, the jaguar has an exceptionally powerful bite. Its jaws are strong enough to pierce the thick hides of reptiles and even crack open turtle shells, giving it access to a wide variety of prey. The jaguar is a solitary and elusive creature. It patrols a vast territory, which it marks to warn off other jaguars. It is a master of ambush, often waiting patiently for hours for the perfect moment to strike. Its spotted coat provides excellent camouflage, allowing it to blend seamlessly into the dappled light of the forest floor. It can hunt on the ground, in the trees, and even in the water. The jaguar is a surprisingly strong swimmer and is known to hunt caiman, anacondas, and large fish in the Amazon's many rivers and streams. This adaptability makes it a supremely successful predator in this challenging environment. But these magnificent cats face growing threats to their survival. The primary threat is the loss of their habitat. As the rainforest is cleared for cattle ranching and agriculture, the jaguar's territory shrinks. This forces them into smaller and more fragmented areas of forest. It also brings them into closer contact with humans and livestock. This often leads to conflict, as jaguars may prey on cattle, and ranchers may then hunt the jaguars in retaliation. This cycle of habitat loss and human-wildlife conflict is pushing this iconic species towards a precarious future, a silent retreat in the face of our encroachment. Protecting the jaguar means protecting the vast tracts of forest that it needs to survive. As an apex predator, the jaguar plays a crucial role in maintaining the health of the entire ecosystem. It helps to control the populations of many other animals, which in turn affects the vegetation. A healthy jaguar population is a sign of a healthy rainforest. Conservation efforts are focused on creating protected corridors that connect fragmented areas of forest. These corridors allow jaguars to move freely, to find mates, and to maintain genetic diversity. The fate of this silent hunter is tied to the fate of the forest it calls home. In the high canopy of the Amazon, life is lived at a much slower pace for one particular resident, the sloth. These unique mammals are famous for their incredibly slow movements. Everything they do, from eating to climbing, is done with a slow and deliberate motion. This is not a sign of laziness, but a highly successful survival strategy. Their diet consists mainly of leaves, which are low in energy and, honestly, pretty difficult to digest. To conserve energy, The sloth has evolved a very low metabolic rate. It moves slowly to use as little energy as possible, a perfect adaptation for a life spent munching on leaves. Sloths spend almost their entire lives hanging upside down from tree branches. They have long, strong claws that act like hooks, allowing them to hang effortlessly for long periods. They eat, sleep, and even give birth while suspended in the trees. Their fur grows in the opposite direction to that of most mammals, from their belly towards their back. This allows rainwater to run off their bodies while they are hanging upside down. Their fur is also a miniature ecosystem in its own right. Algae often grow in their coats, providing a greenish tint that serves as excellent camouflage among the leaves of the canopy. This slow-moving lifestyle makes the sloth vulnerable to certain predators. Harpy eagles and jaguars are their main threats. However, their slowness and camouflage are their greatest defense. By moving so little, they are very difficult to spot. When they do move, they do so with such stealth that they often go unnoticed by predators hunting for more active prey. Once a week, the sloth makes a slow and perilous journey down to the forest floor to defecate. This is the most dangerous time in a sloth's life, as it is exposed and clumsy on the ground. Why they undertake this risky ritual remains one of the rainforest's little mysteries. The world of the sloth is a gentle and peaceful one. They are a wonderful example of how life can adapt in the most extraordinary ways. Their unique biology allows them to thrive in a niche that few other animals can occupy. However, like so many other Amazonian creatures, their survival depends entirely on the health of the forest. Without the specific trees whose leaves they eat, they cannot survive. The sloth reminds us that there are many different ways to be successful in nature, and that even the slowest and most unassuming creatures play a vital role in the rich tapestry of life. High above the canopy, a formidable predator soars through the sky. This is the harpy eagle, one of the largest and most powerful eagles in the world. It is the king of the rainforest sky. With a wingspan that can reach over 2 meters, it is an impressive sight. Its talons are as large as the claws of a grizzly bear, and they are capable of snatching sloths and monkeys directly from the treetops. The harpy eagle is an apex predator of the canopy, a feathered hunter of incredible strength and precision. It builds enormous nests high up in the tallest trees, from which it surveys its vast hunting grounds. The harpy eagle is a patient hunter. It will often perch on a high branch for hours, silent and still, scanning the canopy below with its incredibly sharp eyesight. When it spots its prey, it dives with breathtaking speed and agility, navigating the complex maze of branches with ease. It is a specialist predator, perfectly adapted for hunting in the dense forest environment. A breeding pair of harpy eagles requires a huge area of undisturbed forest to find enough food to raise a single chick. The presence of these magnificent birds is therefore a strong indicator of a healthy and intact rainforest ecosystem. Deeper in the forest, the air is often filled with a sound that can be mistaken for a strong wind or distant thunder. This is the call of the howler monkey. These monkeys are the guardians of the forest, and their roars are among the loudest sounds in the animal kingdom. Their calls can travel for several kilometers through the dense vegetation. They don't roar out of aggression, but to communicate with other troops. It is a way of marking their territory and letting other groups know where they are. This long-distance communication helps the troops to space themselves out, avoiding conflict over food resources in the canopy. Howler monkeys have a specially adapted throat and an enlarged hyoid bone that acts as a resonating chamber, amplifying their calls. They live in social groups and spend their days foraging for leaves, fruits, and flowers. Like sloths, they have a slow metabolism to cope with their leaf-heavy diet. They also have a prehensile tail, which they use as a fifth limb to securely grip branches as they move through the canopy. The mighty roar of the howler monkey is one of the most iconic sounds of the Amazon, a daily proclamation that the forest is alive and well, a vibrant and noisy kingdom. No bird is more emblematic of the Amazon rainforest than the toucan. With its enormous, brightly colored bill, it is instantly recognizable. The bill can be a stunning mix of orange, yellow, blue, and black. It looks heavy, but it is surprisingly lightweight. It is mostly hollow, with a network of bony struts inside for support. For a long time, the purpose of this oversized bill was a mystery. Scientists now believe it has several important functions. One of its primary roles is to help the toucan regulate its body temperature. By adjusting the flow of blood to the bill, the bird can release excess body heat, which is a useful adaptation in the hot and humid rainforest. The bill is also a very useful tool. It is long enough to allow the toucan to reach fruits on branches that are too thin to support its weight. It can pluck berries and other fruits with great dexterity. Toucans are primarily fruit eaters, and they play a very important role in the forest as seed dispersers. After eating a fruit, they will often fly to another part of the forest and regurgitate the seeds. This helps new trees to grow in different areas, ensuring the continued health and diversity of the forest. The toucan is, in effect, a flying gardener for the Amazon. While they mainly eat fruit, toucans are also opportunistic hunters. They will raid the nests of other birds to eat eggs and nestlings. The long bill is a formidable weapon in this regard. It allows them to reach deep into tree holes and other nests that would be inaccessible to other predators. They are social birds, often traveling in small flocks. They communicate with a series of croaking or yelping calls that echo through the canopy. At night, they find a snug-fitting hole in a tree to sleep in. To fit inside, they have a clever trick. They turn their head back and rest their long bill on their back, then fold their tail over their head, tucking themselves into a compact ball of feathers. The toucan is a vibrant and charismatic symbol of the Amazon's incredible biodiversity. Its brilliant colors and unique appearance capture the imagination. It is a living piece of art, perfectly designed for its life in the rainforest canopy. The sight of a toucan flying through the trees, its colorful bill leading the way, is an unforgettable experience. It is a reminder of the beauty and ingenuity of nature. Protecting the toucan means protecting the fruit-bearing trees it depends on, and in doing so, we help to protect the entire web of life that makes the Amazon so special. The Amazon, this ancient and vibrant world, is facing unprecedented threats. The greatest of these is deforestation. Every minute, vast areas of the rainforest are cut down or burned. This destruction is driven primarily by the demand for land for cattle ranching and for growing crops like soy. Roads are cut deep into the forest, opening up previously inaccessible areas to loggers, miners, and settlers. This fragmentation of the forest is devastating for wildlife. It isolates populations, shrinks their territories, and makes them more vulnerable to extinction. The lungs of the planet are being steadily weakened. Illegal mining is another serious threat. Miners, searching for gold and other valuable minerals, clear large patches of forest. They use toxic chemicals like mercury to extract the gold from the soil. This mercury then washes into the rivers, poisoning the water, the fish, and the people who depend on the rivers for their survival. These mining operations leave behind a scarred and polluted landscape, a dead zone where the forest may never recover. The quest for underground riches is causing irreparable damage to the life-giving systems on the surface, a short-term gain for a devastating long-term cost. The threats are many, and they are interconnected. Climate change is also taking its toll. Rising global temperatures are leading to more frequent and more severe droughts in the Amazon. A drier forest is more susceptible to fire. What were once small, contained fires can now grow into massive infernos that destroy huge swathes of the rainforest. This creates a dangerous feedback loop. Deforestation contributes to climate change, which in turn makes the remaining forest more vulnerable to destruction. We are pushing this resilient ecosystem towards a tipping point, a point from which it may not be able to recover. The future of the Amazon hangs in the balance. It is a global responsibility to protect this precious resource. It requires the concerted effort of governments, organizations, and individuals around the world. We must support sustainable practices, protect the rights of indigenous peoples, and work to combat illegal deforestation and mining. The Amazon is not just a distant forest, it is a critical part of the Earth's operating system. Its fate is linked to our own. By understanding its importance and the threats it faces, we can be moved to act. We must be the guardians of this fragile paradise, for its sake, and for the future of all life on Earth.